Hello everybody and welcome to today's video, and in today's video, I'm going to be doing the 2024 election prediction between Michelle Obama and Donald Trump. Now this was a suggested video, so thank you to who is suggesting this. I actually got a very long comment full of, many, suggestions, so I'll likely be doing many of those, in the future. So I will try to, go see the name of the commenter so I can thank said commenter, in future videos, but I'm going to try to do this pretty quickly. I have a soccer game early in the morning, and I generally don't like being sleep deprived when I play soccer. For Michelle Obama's likely states, honestly, actually for both their likely states, Obama gets New Mexico, Virginia, Maine at large, and New Hampshire. New Hampshire's gonna be like on the line, whereas Trump gets, actually, maybe not. Nebraska's first, Kansas, Mississippi, South Carolina, Iowa, Ohio, and Alaska. In Nebraska's first, actually, let's start off with Obama's likely states. In New Mexico, Trump's going to do pretty well with oil workers, but she's probably going to do pretty well with the Hispanic Latino vote. In Virginia, she's going to do pretty well in the suburbs and do pretty well with the black vote, whereas Trump is going to do pretty well with the rural vote, so it'll probably be fairly similar to 2020, but it'll probably shift a little bit to the left. New Hampshire, I mean, I feel like it's probably going to be fairly similar. Trump might do slightly better with white rural college-educated voters, and it's a fairly similar thing in Maine. I could see him doing better in the 2nd district, which will probably shift Maine a little bit to the right. And for his likely states, so that's kind of an explanation for Maine. Maine's going to be a little bit probably to the left in New Hampshire, but I see Trump doing well, probably better in the 2nd district. Actually, which should also be, or I'm going to give it to him likely. Which will probably mean it shifts a little bit to the right as well. Once again, it'll probably already shift though, as it's slightly to the right of New Hampshire. And I see it shifting a little bit. I see New Hampshire shifting a little bit to the right. I see Trump doing better with, I see Trump probably doing slightly better with white rural college educated voters. Anyways, Nebraska's first, he's probably going to do worse in the suburbs. Kansas, he's going to probably do better with the rural vote, but do worse in the suburbs, probably making it similar to 2020. Mississippi, Michelle Obama's just going to do well enough with the black vote. South Carolina, she's going to do pretty well with the black vote. Trump's going to do pretty well with the rural vote. Iowa, Trump has enough populist appeal that'll, sorry, I just touched my mic with, my pinky, that'll probably carry it by a likely margin. In Ohio, even though Michelle Obama's going to do pretty well in the suburbs and do pretty well with the black vote, Trump's appeal to the working class and to rural voters will probably prevail and I'll probably keep it likely. Maine 2nd, he has enough populist appeal. He has the populist appeal to the point where he probably will carry it likely. In Alaska, I see Michelle Obama. Native American voters are going to continue to turn out at higher rates, which is already going to shift it to the left. First off, I see Michelle. Sorry, I touched my mic with my hand. I see Michelle Obama being a fairly strong candidate for Native American voters. But I also see Trump. I see him probably doing better with oil workers, so it'll probably balance it out. For Michelle Obama's lean states, she gets Nevada, Minnesota, Nebraska's 2nd should actually be likely because she's gonna do better in the suburbs, and that is it. Nevada, she's just going to want to face Hispanic Latino, but it's probably going to be fairly similar, maybe shift a little bit to the right. Minnesota, she's going to do pretty well in Minneapolis, and do pretty well in the suburbs, whereas Trump's going to do pretty well with the rural vote and do pretty well with the working class. So it'll probably shift it a little bit to the right, but it could still be likely. Honestly, there's a fairly solid argument for it still being likely. But I'm going to give it to her lean. For Trump's lean states, he gets Texas. That's actually it, I think. Texas, he's going to get pretty good rural turnout. But Michelle Obama's going to do better in the suburbs and do better with the Hispanic and Latino vote. For the final states, the 12 states, Michelle Obama gets Arizona, Georgia, and Michigan, whereas Trump gets Wisconsin, Florida. Florida could be lean. North Carolina, and Pennsylvania, which is kind of a toss-up, but I am going to give it to Trump. In Arizona, Arizona is also a bit of a toss-up, but I think it's more of a left-leaning toss-up. I see Michelle Obama having enough appeal to Hispanic Latino voters, and I see her having enough appeal to traditional conservatives in the suburbs. I think it'll be hard, but I see, honestly, enough anti-Michelle Obama, anti-Trump, traditional conservatives in the suburbs just not turning out to vote, to the point where a lot of the more leftward shifting suburbanites, as well as, Hispanic Latino voters, just throughout the state, I guess, will probably shift it, or will probably keep it. So, in Georgia, It's going to be fairly similar to 2020. Michelle Obama's going to do really well with the black vote, and Trump's just going to do really well with the rural vote. In Florida, Michelle Obama's going to do pretty well with the Hispanic Latino vote, do pretty decent in the suburbs. I think she's going to do decent for older white voters. I see Trump having enough appeal to older white voters and having enough appeal to the Hispanic Latino vote that he carries it. In North Carolina, Trump's going to do very well with rural voters and very well with the working class, whereas Michelle Obama's going to do very well in the suburbs and do very well with the black vote, so it's probably just going to shift a little bit to the left. In Wisconsin, across the entire Rust Belt, with Wisconsin being the most conservative, Michigan being the most liberal, and Pennsylvania being in the middle. Once again, Pennsylvania could probably be a toss-up. Michelle Obama's going to do pretty well with the black vote and do pretty well in the suburbs, whereas Trump is going to do pretty well with the rural vote and do pretty well with the working class. So with it being fairly even in the state, it sort of does depend on the leans. And I see Trump having enough appeal in Pennsylvania, and having enough rural appeal to the point where he narrowly carries it. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like below. Stay tuned for my next video tomorrow. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Please comment your suggestions down below, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.